masters that they want that India should be a nation with a slave mentality. A nation with a slave mentality cannot rise. A nation without the pride in its own cultural heritage can never dominate. Here we have to know, people say about socialism. Socialism as a part of distributive justice. Now it gradually came from Fabian socialism, utopian socialism, to the socialism as we understand in Marx. Swami Vivekananda synthesized it in the concept of Vedantic socialism. That the concept of surplus value, the money which you spend on land, labor, capital, organization, and increase, that is, if you take M as your money and M1 as the increased portion of your money, that is M1 minus M, which is the surplus value, how this surplus value will be distributed. That has been the entire debate of Marxism. Swami Vivekananda says that this surplus value, if you want to divide, distribute on the strength of power, it will again retaliate. That socialism will not stay forever. Then what to do? That first you have to reform inside. That why I will loot others, why I will cheat others. This why has to be answered through spirituality. Where science ends, philosophy starts. Where philosophy ends, religion starts. Where religion ends, spirituality starts. Where spirituality ends, the domain of God starts. So this why has to be answered. Then the distribution will be logical. Otherwise, in Bengal we had 34 years of socialist rule. And what happened? The entire nation collapsed. The pride of Bengal collapsed. Which was the mother of nationalism before independence, now has to be taught nationalism. This has been the tragedy. So, the most important factor is that when we understand our nation, we have to read our nation through the eyes of our own great scholars like Swami Vivekananda, like Sri Aurobindo. Now, what has been the contribution of India to the world of nations? It is just like a dewdrop on the lotus petals. If you want to see the dewdrop, you understand. If you don't want to see the dewdrop, you generally see that this civilization has no contribution on the world of nations. Now, when Soviet Union got volcanized, the entire Soviet nation fell. Do you know the bordering areas of India from the west, the nations Afghanistan, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, all these nations has Stan in their name. Stan is a Sanskrit word. These entire nations were dominated by Buddhist culture once upon a time. These entire nations got converted in due course of time. So when you say that the vulcanization of India will happen as it happened in case of Soviet Union, the communist historians like A.S. Gopalan used to write in this manner. The nationalist historians used to write that that will never happen in India, because India is not united just on the basis of administrative unity. India is not united just on the basis of prime ministers and chief ministers. India is united on a basis of a common cultural heritage. When I come to Karnataka, I find India in Ramakrishna Math Mission. When I come to Tamil Nadu, I find India in Kanyakumari and Meenakshipuram. When somebody from Tamil Nadu goes to West Bengal, he finds India in Belur in Kalighat, in the Kineshwar. When I go to Delhi, I find India in the Lakshmi temple. When I go to Punjab, I find India in the Golden Temple. When I go to Gujarat, I find India in the Somnath temple. India is united on a sentimental attachment which come down to us from time immemorial. It is not only a unity based on administrative unification. Soviet Union was united on the basis of administrative unification. What happened? It broke down. So we have to understand the strongest pillar of our unity. And we have to build it stronger so that those who think that they will be able to break India will never see the dream again. Now, what happens when we say the concept of universal oneness, as Swami Vivekananda used to say, that we don't have this concept of oneness in other religions. Christianity says that you are my brother when you are a Christian. Islam says you are my brother when you are a Muslim. That is the concept of universal brotherhood. And universal oneness goes one step ahead, which says that whatever religion you may practice, you are my brother because you are part and parcel of the universal soul. And that has been the teaching of Indian religions from ages. And this universal oneness makes India the mother of all religion. Many people say Swami Vivekananda represented India in the Chicago Parliament of Nations. Swami Vivekananda never represented India because that was a parliament of religions, not parliament of nations. With all his respect to his motherland, Swami Vivekananda went from Kanyakumari not to represent India, but to represent his own religion, that is the religion of the Hindus. What he told in his Chicago speech in 11 September 1893, remember, just 108 years after 11 September 1893, another 11 September taught America the lesson what fundamentalism and sectarian could have done. You have the 9/11 episode in America, 108 years after that very 11th September. I thank you in the name of most ancient order of monks. He starts. Who is this most ancient order of monks? The Vedic monks, the Hindu sannyasis. I thank you in the name of the mother of all religions. Why mother of all religions? He says, what Krishna has told in Gita, Shakya Muni redefined it. According to his own words, Buddhism is the logical development, the logical conclusion of the religion of the Hindus. And what he told in the Gita, Isha Muni tried to elaborate it in his own way. So Christianity and Buddhism are the religions of Shakya Muni and Isha Muni. So that's why he says that the Hindu religion being the mother of all religions, Gita being placed at the bottom, Bible being placed at the top. When Father says, look Swamiji, your Gita lies at the bottom, my Bible lies at the top, Swamiji looks at the pyramid and says, yes Father, if you want to build a pyramid of ethics, religion and morality, the base should be strong. Whatever is written in the Gita, which is the mother of all religious scriptures, the scriptures which you have kept above is just the illustrations. The son should always stay over the mother so that they can stay in peace. Mother always takes the bottom seat because she is the root. That's why the more frustration, the more depression which is coming into our life because we are moving out of our religion. 35% people in America who are newborn doesn't know who are their mother and father. I met an American who says, a lady standing beside him, that she is my ex-wife. Can you imagine this type of a society we want to invite in India? Now you have faith more on your marriage certificates. I don't understand. My mother always had the faith on Sindoor. My grandmother also. And they have passed with the faith on Sindoor and Mangal Shutra. And there has been no divorce in the Hindu family ever knew about it. And more we are becoming anglicized. Having greater faith on the marriage registrar, the rate of divorce is rising. The way it is rising in the educated Hindu society, that if the courts doesn't take holidays for 30 years, they will have the time to clear the already pending cases of divorce of the Hindus. This type of a society do we want? Do we want to invite this type of a society? The family has been the mother of Hindu religion. We used to get our religion from our mother. Christians get their religion from the priests, the church, the father. The Muslims get their religion from the mullah. The Hindus get their religion from their mother. Mother takes him to the temple. Mother has been the main moving personality who pulls the Hindu to the faith. Swami Vivekananda's mother, his grandmother, pulled him to the Hindu faith, and gradually he became a monk. So the Hindu families have been divided. The institution of family has been made to be weaker. Why? It is a plot of the Westerners to destabilize our social structure. If we don't understand their plot, we will not be able to fight their plot. And this has been a plot all along, to change our way of thinking, to change our way of living, to change our way of eating. When the Western civilization was in their infancy, our ancestors chanted the Vedas. So, why we will copy a civilization which has its own demerits? Will we negate the West? No. Swamiji say, accept the West, the good things of the West. What happened in the last 67 years? We left our good things, our meditation, our way of life, our faith on our religion and culture, and adapted their bad things. That is, adapting their bad things and leaving our good things. The tragedy lies in front of us in the last 67 years. Now we have to change ourselves according to our own way, which has been our system, our constitution for years. If I want to be a Britisher, I will not be able to. My nature, character, structure is not nearer to a British man. And often it has been told, our own religion, the Christian says that your religion is stratified. Go to Plato's Republic. Plato's Republic says that the society is stratified. First come the philosophers, then come the auxiliaries, then come the laborers. That is the structure of the society. Society everywhere is stratified into higher and lower social groups. You have the House of Lords, which have membership on the basis of kinship endogamous groups. In the House of Commons, you elect them. And our very institution of caste system was not based on birth. Guna karma vibhajana. The Gita itself says that the caste system is not based on birth, it is based on work. It was economic division of labor. The original thing was that. Otherwise, can we imagine the story given in the Upanishads? Satyakama going to Guru. Guru asking the Gotra, Satyakama says that I don't know the Gotra. Guru says that you go and ask your parents, what is your Gotra? Satyakama goes back to his mother, asks, what's my Gotra? Mother says, I don't know your Gotra, because when I was a young lady, I served many males, so I don't know your Gotra. You are Javala's son Satyakama, and that's all. Satyakama went to the Guru, told that whatever he has heard from the mother. Guru says that you are the Brahmin among the Brahmins. This is the way our cultures teaches us. It was never on the basis of birth. It was made to be on the basis of birth. And the entire Hindu religion has two parts, the spiritual and the social, the ceremonial. In our spiritual world, there is no caste system. Man from the Brahmin, non-Brahmin, Chandala, any caste can become a monk in India. And we don't ask anything about the purvasrama of a monk. When I wrote my first book, I went to Belur Math and told that I want to dedicate it to my great-grandfather, Swami Brahmanandaji. Belur Math told, no, you should not do that. Because the purvasrama of a monk should not be referred. When he is Brahmananda, he is for everybody. When he was your Rakhal Chandra Ghosh, he was yours. And that has been the custom of India. When a Mathadaksha goes, he doesn't give his baton to his son or a daughter, to his grandson or grandchild. He gives the baton to the person who is ideologically his shishya, his disciple. Hindu religion never says that the son, daughter, this is the family. It says the shishya, bhakta, that is the family. So why we change our culture, which has been the mother of civilization from the dawn of civilization? And there lies that how we move from our apparent self to the real self. Why we find nowadays people who are sitting in the positions of authority, we don't find any closeness when we meet them. The reason is that we find the apparent soul there. And the entire sadhana is to move from the apparent self to the real self. From what Sri Ramakrishna is to say, from choto ami to boro ami. So this real self has to be discovered. As long as your real self is not discovered, the thing is that the apparent self will always pull you back. And this very real self within is understood when you come nearer to your culture, as Swami Vivekananda says, that the person who is bringing the past of India in front of Indians is doing a great work for the nation. Now, with this, what Swamiji thought, that we want an India where the mother should be the core to unite the Oriental world. You have the Oriental world. Now where the map of Oriental world is. India, China, Japan, Korea, Laos, Cambodia, Singapore, Burma, Sri Lanka, 45% of the world population believes in the religion which comes down to us from pre-Christian era. This is the Oriental world. In this world, 34% is Christian, 18% is Muslim, 14% is Hindu, 8% is Buddhist, 8% believe in the traditional Chinese religion, 7% believe in the traditional African religion, and 19% of the people are there who don't believe in any religion, they are non-believers. So if you take into consideration the Oriental world of the Hindus, the Buddhists, and those who practice those religion which came down to us from pre-Christian era, this Oriental world generally lives in the east of the world and the Far East, which is the food basket of the world. Now, if there is an opaque civilization where the oil-producing countries have united on the strength of their Islamic cultural unity. On the other hand, you have the European Union. For long, Turkey was not admitted in the European Union because Turkey is a country where the Muslims are majority and Christians are minority, and European Union, other way around, is a union of nations where the Christians are in majority. Mostly, in the European Union, this Christian cultural unity plays a very important role. And what will play a very important role in this Oriental culture? The unity of Hinduism and Buddhism. 13% and 8%, 14% and 8% makes 22%. It's a huge population throughout the world. We are divided. That's why our voice is not heard.